Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of The Ladies' Room by Carolyn Brown, performed by Donna Postel. Chapter 1. If I wiggled again, Great Aunt Gert was going to sit straight up in that pale pink coffin and give me an evil glare the way she used to do when I was a child and couldn't sit still in church. Not even in death would Gertrude Martin abide wiggling at a funeral, especially when it was hers. She'd been an outspoken, caustic old girl the whole time she was alive, and I had no doubt she could resurrect herself at the faintest whisper of queen-sized pantyhose rubbing together as I crossed and uncrossed my legs. I should have gone to the ladies' room before the service began. But my 4 cups of coffee that morning, and the 32-ounce Coke I'd drunk on the way to the church, hadn't made it to my bladder until the preacher cleared his throat and began a eulogy that sounded as if it would go on until 6 days past eternity. If the poor man was trying to preach Aunt Gert through the pearly gates, we'd all starve to death before he finished. Thank goodness I had a Snickers candy bar and a bag of barbecued chips in my purse, and 20 extra pounds of pure cellulite on my thighs. At least I wouldn't be the next one knocking on heaven's door. I crossed my legs yet again and tried to concentrate on what the preacher was saying to take my mind off the pressing matter. After 2 minutes, nothing worked. The space between the far end of the pew and the wall was just barely passable for an anorexic teenager, so I had to walk sideways. It was unforgivable enough that I was leaving in the middle of the funeral sermon, but to trouble 10 members of the congregation to get to the center aisle would have had Aunt Gert doing more than sitting up. The tirade she'd have produced would have withered my poor bladder into a dried-out raisin. I trotted all the way to the ladies' room. By the time I was inside one of the 2 stalls, I already had my tight black skirt jerked up. I grabbed the top of the ultra-control pantyhose and tugged hard, only to push a thumbnail through the fabric. I'd thought that they were made of the same stuff that was used to construct space shuttles, and that neither excess weight nor blistering fire could destroy the material. I was carefully pulling up my ruined hose when the door opened, and Marty and Betsy...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?